On this episode of Lapeef Let's Talk.
Be really hard to get your
No,
tubes
like when my husband went to have his
you're like
vasectomy done,
30
they didn't
years
ask
old.
me anything. They
Well,
didn't ask me, was I okay with him having it done? He was able to get it done.
So what happens if you don't have a husband though?
Is you're showing me the problem. Why do, like you said, right? You gotta they gotta do all this counseling to get her tubes tied. So why don't he gotta get all this counseling to get snipped?
Also,
I'm not sure, but he doesn't.
Is a much more invasive. Like they have to go up into your uterus. Like it's usually something women do after they have a baby because that's how invasive it is. It's going to be very hard and a long process to get your tubes tied if you're like under a certain age and never had kids and haven't been married yet. I'm trying to tell you, like most OBGYNs are not going to be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Like they're going to take you through hell before you can get that done. Like a lot of red tape. So it's just it's different than a vasectomy. It's different than a vasectomy.
But Anton, you wouldn't be able to put your body through the things that we have to as women, because it's one thing to be a woman, but it's another thing to be a man. And I'm not saying that that we're not equal in some way, shape, or form. But what I am saying is that what our bodies have to endure when we have children or are about to have a child, or even just when we conceive as a whole, it changes because our bodies they're never going to be the same. And even if we do get that abortion, even if we do whatever we need to do, our bodies change, our hormones change, everything changes. So I don't think that a lot of the men could really go through that. It's a lot.
No, and you listen.
That don't have nothing to do with.
Yeah, what does that? What does that have to do with the vasectomy?
Listen, the topic is it doesn't matter if he's selfish or not. It doesn't matter. If the man wants to go do it, let him do it. But I would like to look at the demographics. I don't think it's a lot of people who look like us in those cities that are raising up that's actually out there doing it. Let's just make that perfectly clear here. I don't think it's a lot of people that look like us. However, I agree with Anton on that. If listen, now, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Now, I don't advise it. Listen, don't give up your natural right of being able to produce children. Because me being in a barbershop for over 15 years, man, I heard a lot of like some dudes who got it, and then they like, man, damn, I wish now they more mature. They money different, the whole 9 yards, and they want to produce a family. And a lot of them talking about the complications afterwards, like sex life is not the same.
It's better. It's much better. I have one.
Okay, yes, sir. So
I have one, and I have had zero complication, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's some brothers that was saying that they haven't been right. So I guess maybe they got a boss job or something.
Surgery though.
But
literally,
they might need to eat more lettuce. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not trying to,
bruh.
I mean, I'm not trying
to. Might need to eat more vegetables. I don't know.
What's wrong with it?
Jump in, Toya.
I mean, but honestly, I mean, as far as the question goes, his body, his choice. I mean, and honestly, I think if the guy is getting it done, it must be a guy that does not want kids. So for any ladies that want to marry somebody, he wouldn't be your husband anyway if you want kids, because clearly he doesn't want any kids. And then as far as the vasectomy goes, my husband had a vasectomy, and we have no issues. I mean, and he got this done 11 years ago. We have no issues. And the vasectomy is a little bitty procedure that takes about 20 minutes. I was there with him
literally
when he had it done. And it could be reversed like that. If the person
be reversed,
it can't be reversed, and that's what I'm saying. It's so much disinformation out there, bro. And instead of people asking questions, they automatically jump to conclusion, and they don't know. They literally don't know. It can be reversed. It is not that complicated.
You know what ironic this is? It's crazy, and I got my boy, right? He just got his done earlier, and this is crazy that I'm even talking about this subject. Just got it. I literally had to pick him up after getting the surgery or whatever, the whole 9 yards, and he ain't been home yet, right? So he's just chilling right now. And give me a second. Let me see if I can get him. Let me see if
he ain't been home. Wait a minute.
Nah, he ain't been home yet because I got to take him home. I came straight after his surgery, whatever. I came straight here. I had to be on here.
Wait, so he in pain over there by your place?
You got him laying in your bed?
You got a woman?
Listen,
he hanging out on your couch?
With his balls
Bro, at least tell me you gave him an ice pack. Jesus Christ.
You're a good friend. You're a good friend.
Hell no. I would have ditched this show for him.
This is how weak men are. No, this is how weak men are, right? We'll let women, when we talking about, see, the first thing, you can't compare abortion to these vasectomies. You can't. Because in the comparison to this is what? Women getting a tube tied, right? Mm-hmm. But we let them get off the hook, right? We'll let them go to the extreme and say, oh, okay, abortion. So since we lost that, then you need to get your shit cut, right? We'll let them go. And then not once that I heard in these whole conversations, not just on this panel, but I'm saying, like looking at news, that these women ever talked about getting their tubes tied.
Never.
So they're comparing them getting a procedure, abortion, to actually men getting snipped. And then if you compare the two, I'm like this. Okay, well, compare. If you said men should do this, then why don't you get your tubes tied? I haven't heard on CNN, Fox News, anywhere where I've been looking at this coverage over the last, but since the decision came out, that once it said, hey, why don't women get their tube tied to protect themselves? Because really, that's the ultimate protection.
But logic, as far as like the tubes being tied, I think the thing about that is that it's more easier for a woman to have an abortion than it is to get her tubes tied. Because when a woman trying to get her tubes tied, if she's married, the husband has to okay it, and then on top of that, the doctors prefer for you to have so many kids before they give you a tubal ligation.
Yes.
So it's actually easier to have an abortion.
Same thing for the man.
It's going to be really hard to get your
tubes. Like when my husband went to have his vasectomy done, they didn't ask me anything. They didn't ask me was I okay with him having it done. He was able to get it done.
So what happens if you don't have a husband though?
You're showing me the problem. Why do, like you said, right? You gotta they gotta do all this counseling to get her tubes tied. So why don't he gotta get all this counseling to get snipped?
Also,
I'm not sure, but he doesn't.
Is a much more invasive. Like they have to go up into your uterus. Like it's usually something women do after they have a baby because that's how invasive it is. It's going to be very hard and a long process to get your tubes tied if you're like under a certain age and never had kids and haven't been married yet. I'm trying to tell you, like most OBGYNs are not going to be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Like they're going to take you through hell before you can get that done. Like a lot of red tape. So. It's just, it's different than a vasectomy. It's different than a vasectomy. Just